Hello everyone, and welcome to the first part of my new video series focused on the Great War. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to paint wooden propeller with oil paints. In the end the propeller should look like this. I have chosen two different propellers for this video. One is with 2 blades and the second one is with 4 blades. Both are in 48 scale. Actually the scale does not matter much. You can use the same technique if you have a model in 32 or 72 scale. Okay then, now we can start. First I must fix all the imperfections such as small lines and holes like this one. Now I glue a toothpick into the propeller for better manipulation with it. If you are not sure if you have cleaned all the imperfections, I recommend spraying the propeller with one layer of a primer. Now it's much easier to see all the remaining imperfections. So now is the propeller prepared to be painted. If you do not have an airbrush, you can simply paint the base color with an ordinary paintbrush. How to choose the correct base color for the wood? As you can see on the real planes, each propeller has a various shape and it also has a different color shades. It is relatively simple. If you imitate light wood, then your base coat should be white. If you imitate dark wood, then you can use some kind of light shades of a brown color. Okay, I think that is not clear enough. I prepared a small example for you. Here I have a few shades of oil paints and several bases in different colors. Oil paints are partially transparent, so it is important to choose the right color for the base. As you can see, the best option is to choose lighter shades, because if your base is dark, then oil paints will be very dark too. However, I recommend trying some mock test before you start painting your model. So now enough of theory and let's paint something. I show you how to paint a light wood. I use yellow ochre and small pointed brush. I paint wooden texture with a darker shade of ochre. If you think that the result is nice, you must let it dry for 1 or 2 days, and then fix the paint with a transparent clear varnish. This is how the single colored propeller looks like. Anyway, you probably need something like this. Now I show you a few mistakes which I saw on some models. The first mistake is to painting dark wood straight lines. It doesn't look so bad, but from the side view you can see that wood is bent and this is not correct. The second mistake is to paint dark wood slantwise and with the wrong direction. You can make this error when you paint the second side of blades. So how to paint it correctly? You must simply paint the shape in the right direction and check it from the side of the propeller. However, you achieve the best result if you have a photo of the original propeller and you paint it according to it. As I said, oil dries from 1 to 2 days in thin layers, and therefore I can adjust the shape as I need it. As you can see, the lines are pretty straight, but do not forget that I need to improve the thickness of each line. I use Enamel Thinner for this purpose and ultra finish pointed brush. That was only a testing propeller, so now let's paint the real one. And the propeller is finished. Now I let it dry for 1 or 2 days and then I apply several layers of the clear varnish again. As I said at the beginning, I wanted to paint 4-blade propeller as well. It is a little bit harder than 2-blade one, and I painted with dark shades for a change. The first layer of oil paints is mixed with brown and red. This time I do not fix this layer with a clear varnish. However, it depends on you. If you start painting dark woods immediately, you will save 2 days over drying. It's quite fun to paint wood texture on each blade of a propeller, because they must be same. Therefore, I like oil paints, because you can simply change or modify the shapes as you want. It's also possible to completely clean the oil paints with enamel thinner and start again. When the work is done, I let it dry for 2 days, as you already know, and then I fix it with one layer of the clear varnish. Now it only remains to paint some details and apply water slide decals. Of course, only if they are included in the kit, since some propellers do not need them. In the end, you can coat the propeller with 1 or 2 layers of a transparent clear varnish. As I am thinking about it, this technique requires a lot of varnishes. And here you can see both propellers. Although this technique is not difficult, it requires some practice. And it is definitely worth it to put this on the World War II monoplane. So thanks for watching, and see you next time, when I will continue with the second part of my video series. It will be again about painting wooden texture.